Welcome back to Daily AI News at Let's Data Science. It's 5th August 2026. Today, we're diving into some pivotal developments from the future of machine intelligence to major product launches. Let's get to it. Our top story today. SpaceX says it will build its next phase of AI infrastructure exclusively on NVIDIA. During the company's August 4th earnings call, Elon Musk said SpaceX had chosen NVIDIA because it considers the Vera Rubin architecture the best available AI computer, and he later repeated that commitment publicly on X. Axios also reported Musk's projection that SpaceX could reach up to 10 gigawatts of computing power by the end of 2027. That figure is a forward looking company target, not a completed deployment or disclosed GPU order. The decision signals a major architectural commitment because standardizing on a single platform can simplify software, networking, and operations, while also increasing dependence on one supplier's delivery schedules, power availability, cooling, and manufacturing capacity. The available information does not disclose contract size, pricing, or delivery timelines, and it does not rule out SpaceX pursuing its own chip efforts in the longer term. For infrastructure teams, the key takeaway is the strategic commitment to the NVIDIA Vera Rubin platform rather than the projected scale alone. From AI infrastructure to healthcare, another significant real-world deployment is now underway. A randomized clinical trial across 13 Ontario hospitals is evaluating an AI delirium risk calculator developed through the Gemini Research Program. 6 hospitals were already using the platform by August 4th, while St. Michael's Hospital is expected to begin using it with patients in October. The system does not diagnose delirium or recommend treatment. Instead, it analyzes existing hospital information such as age, laboratory results, and diagnoses to identify patients who may benefit from a prevention bundle that can include hydration support, mobility, sleep-friendly care, and cognitive stimulation, with clinicians making the final decisions. Researchers are also examining whether the alerts fit into busy clinical workflows and whether the model performs consistently across different patient groups and hospital settings. Earlier research supports the technical approach, but this randomized deployment is designed to answer the more important question of whether integrating the model into everyday care actually reduces delirium without creating excessive alert burden. Staying with large-scale AI infrastructure, Bloomberg reports that Anthropic has signed a reported $10 billion 6-year computing agreement with cloud startup Volta Infra Holdings. According to the report, the companies themselves have not publicly confirmed Anthropic as the customer, although Volta separately announced a 6-year, $10 billion contract with an unnamed leading AI developer. Bloomberg also reports that Volta raised $300 million in venture funding at a valuation of about $2.4 billion, with Andreessen Horowitz, Altimeter Capital, NVIDIA, and Michael Dell participating. Asset manager Azora also arranged $5 billion in financing capacity for Volta customers. The reported deployment would involve a Bitdeer Technologies Group data center in Norway, offering 133 megawatts of capacity. Important details, including GPU configuration, delivery schedules, service levels, and commercial terms, remain undisclosed. The story highlights how frontier AI developers are increasingly securing long-term compute through integrated infrastructure and financing agreements rather than relying only on traditional cloud services. Continuing with SpaceX, the company also announced a separate partnership with NVIDIA focused on orbital computing. SpaceX says its planned StarMind AI-1 satellite will use NVIDIA Rubin GPUs and Vera CPUs as the compute payload for what it describes as data center class computing in orbit. This hardware announcement is distinct from the broader company commitment to standardize its AI infrastructure on NVIDIA. According to the available reporting, prototype testing for StarMind AI-1 is planned for early 2027, with mass production later that year if development stays on schedule. Those milestones remain prospective, and there are still no public measurements of in-orbit performance, networking capability, reliability, or regulatory progress. While naming the processor architecture narrows an important design choice, many engineering challenges remain, including radiation tolerance, thermal management, fault recovery, and high-bandwidth communications. For AI infrastructure observers, the meaningful milestone will be demonstrated performance from launched prototypes rather than long-term compute projections. From infrastructure to security, Flowise disclosed 6 vulnerabilities affecting version 3.0.12 and earlier, with fixes released in version 3.0.13. The issues included missing authentication, unsafe file upload, authorization bypass, account takeover, mass assignment, and server-side request forgery. The advisories do not establish active exploitation, and not all 6 flaws enabled remote code execution. Shifting to government AI, a Justice Department filing says xAI's Grok Gov model was deployed through Maven Smart Systems during Operation Epic Fury. The accompanying Pentagon declaration says the system supported operations involving more than 2,000 munitions against 2,000 targets within 96 hours. The filing does not specify Grok's exact role or state that it selected targets or authorized weapons releases. Looking at cyber threats, Interpol's African Cyber Threat Assessment Report 2026 says AI featured in 55% of cybercrime cases reported through a survey of 36 African member countries for 2025. The report also says reported losses rose from $192 million to $484 million, while noting that underreporting and differing national methods limit continent-wide precision. Turning to hardware, Samsung Electronics introduced its ZHBM and Z-Nando memory concepts alongside a more than 400-layer V10 bonding VNAND prototype at FMS 2026. Samsung projects major gains in bandwidth, density, and efficiency, but these remain concept architectures and prototypes rather than commercially deployed products with independently verified benchmarks. On the funding front, Sarvam AI approved a roughly $74 million Series B extension that includes NVIDIA, according to corporate filings reported by Inc42. Reports value the company at about $1.5 billion after the financing. Sarvam recently announced plans to train a trillion-plus parameter foundation model using 10,000 NVIDIA Blackwell GPUs. And finally, Reuters reports that Microsoft, Meta, Oracle, Amazon, and Alphabet have committed about $1.09 trillion in future data center lease payments that have not yet begun, largely for AI infrastructure. Reuters identifies Oracle as having the largest apparent concentration risk, while noting these commitments differ from recognized lease liabilities under accounting rules. And that's your AI briefing for today. The landscape is moving faster than ever, and we'll be here to track it with you. For more insights, visit us at letsdatascience.com. Thanks for tuning in, stay curious, and we'll be back tomorrow with the latest in AI.